I think you just have to trust that you're doing the right things. Hopefully I've showed that not everyone has the same journey. No one cares as long as you get there. I get so many compliments like, oh, you're so calm and I love your presence on the court. I'm like, it's so funny. When I was growing up, my coaches at the time never really liked my attitude. They'd say, you look like you don't care. I'm not going to run a fake fist pump. Like, that's a complete waste of energy to me. I tend to kind of overwork and overdo things and want to do too much, so I kind of have to tell myself to stop. Last year I was just expecting too much results orientated and not enough enjoying getting better as a player.
Welcome to Tennis Insider Club. I am Borja Duran, and together with my partner, Garcia, here is where tennis stories and life conversations intersect. Join us as we uncover the untold personal journeys of the icons of the court.
I hope you will enjoy this conversation. For me, it was a real privilege. Before beginning, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episodes. Also, it will mean the world to me if you can share this episode with someone you think will enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessie, for being here with us today. I'm super happy. I'm looking forward to it. Our first question is, how did you start with tennis?
How did I start with tennis? My older sister played tennis. She played in college, so she played in high school and then collegiately. And so I think I just started taking lessons like after school. It was just something to kind of do at our tennis club that my parents played sometimes, for fun, and where my older sister trained. So that's really kind of how I started. It's pretty casual.
Just like little activity after school.
Yeah, basically.
Did you like it at the first sight or?
Honestly, I don't even remember that much about how much I like at that age. I was maybe 6 or 7. And so yeah, I think I was just kind of good at it really quickly. So I don't know. It kind of just started from there. I think I obviously must have enjoyed playing if my parents kept putting me into lessons, but I don't really remember that much. But yeah, I think I was just kind of naturally kind of good at it compared to other kids probably my age.
Sorry. And did you do any other sport at the same time?
After that, yeah, I'd say 6 or 7, I played tennis. And then when I was 8, 9, 10, I played soccer, baseball, softball, and tennis kind of on the weekends or, whatever after school.
Yeah.
So I did play, a few other sports, but I was very young though.
Yeah.
When is the first time that you maybe start thinking about making a career in tennis, or did you start working harder there?
I would say it sounds so crazy. I was probably 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 10, and it was kind of that age where you start playing tournaments maybe, and everything was kind of on the weekends because I was in school. So it was kind of okay, do you want to play soccer on the weekends? Do you want to play tennis on the weekends? Do you want to play baseball? Which one is it? So we kind of just stuck with tennis. I think that's the one I wanted to play. And that's when I started playing tournaments and was just playing a lot of tennis and kind of made the decision that's what I wanted to try and do full time, which sounds crazy because I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
When you say full time, it means you maybe start doing homeschooling to focus on tennis, or you still have a pretty normal?
I mean, honestly, at that time I think had already moved. So when I was 7 or 8, I don't know, I guess I was good. And there was this coach that would come up to the club I was at, and he basically was I guess told my parents, she can be really, really good. So we moved to South Carolina. So I was in Pennsylvania at the time. We moved to South Carolina in the States to Hilton Head Island. And then I started going to the academies there. And so I was kind of already taking it seriously. And then I was kind of playing these other sports. And then I guess I just transitioned into playing every single day and playing tournaments on the weekends and going to full time to a tennis academy and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it kind of excelled very quickly.
Ever landed in a new country and realized you have no internet? Yep, we've all been there. No maps, no messages, no nothing. But with Saily, that's a thing of the past. Saily is the new eSIM app from the creators of NordVPN, and it keeps you connected in over 190 countries. No physical SIM cards, no sketchy kiosk, no roaming fees. Just download the app once, pick your plan, and boom, instant mobile data wherever you go. Whether you're hopping around Europe, watching tennis tournaments, chilling in Bali, or exploring South America, Saily's got you covered with affordable, global, and regional plans. Get an exclusive 15% discount on your first Saily data plans using code TennisInsider at checkout. Download Saily app or go to saily.com/tennisinsider to benefit from the exclusive offer. That's saily.com/tennisinsider.
Yeah, after, I mean, if you still go to school, I think it's good, and you have like all the time as a kid socially and like grow as a normal kid, but also like after, if you're a big fan of sport or if you want to do something more, like on the weekend, it's like big time of tennis or other sport. But I think it's good to have also that time as a kid.
Yeah, I definitely felt like I still was a kid and like was growing up. And even though, I mean, it wasn't a normal situation, I do feel like I had friends. I went to school. I was outside. I was playing all the time. I still, would love to play soccer. I loved playing other sports. And that was always really fun. So I never felt like I missed out on a childhood at that time. Maybe as I got older, but like at that time of like 8, 9, 10,
But
11.
maybe your parents
I
were
felt
not
fun.
putting you like the pressure that sometimes you see in the tennis tour, no, that parents are like a bit obsessed with the kid becoming a tennis professional, right?
Yeah, I mean, my dad was definitely more of the crazy one.
Okay.
And he definitely put pressure on me, but also like I like wanted, like I liked it. Like I didn't mind it. It wasn't like I was fighting him on it or like miserable or whatever. Like I really wanted to play tennis. I loved going to my tennis lessons. I loved going to my academy. Like that was what I wanted to do. And I think they just saw that and they knew like they could push me a little bit. So I felt like they did a good job of that at that age.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then how was after the transition to like juniors or like starting to make like so your first years on tour?
Yeah.
Was it easy?
Oh gosh. No, that was really hard. I would say like my 15, 16, 17 were definitely like very difficult for me. I don't know, just being a teenager, like growing up, but like, I don't know, that's where I felt like more pressure from my parents as far as like, what coach are you going to have? Like, I didn't like some of the coaches, but they're kind of like running the show at the moment because I'm like 15 and it was kind of like I didn't really agree with a lot of the stuff that I was doing, but I was still playing tournaments and I wasn't in quite like excelling that much where I was like a top junior, but I wasn't bad. So I was kind of like stuck in between. And but they were very supportive of like me turning pro. So I turned pro at like 17 and they were like, hey, if you want to do this, like we'll support you. So that was always there, which was great. I would say like 15, 16, 17, that like right before that is where I was kind of bouncing in between, like finding the right coach.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's just hard. Yeah. And you're balancing being a kid and I was homeschooled then and I felt like I was missing out on a lot of stuff. So I felt like I was like a little up and down emotionally, which I think is normal at that age.
Yeah, it's not easy because you start to make like bigger travel and then be more away from home.
Yeah.
And also you're kind of more lonely also when you travel only with a coach. Obviously, like, there is a big gap of age most of the time. And then success to make it to the pro is like, you leave the tour, but it's like smaller tournament. It's kind of not always cool plan.
It's not very glamorous. So yeah, it was hard because I was always very close with my family. So yeah, missing just holidays, Christmas, Easter, like just little things that I was so used to doing. And then all of a sudden you get older and like you have to kind of make decisions of like, oh, you should maybe be playing tournaments or you should be doing this. And I think that's where I felt like I always struggled the most was kind of that time frame. And then you mature and you get a little older, but the teenage years I felt were tough for me.
I think they're not easy for anyone. No?
Yeah,
At the end, you're
it's
also like,
hard.
well, whatever you're doing, you're still also starting to figure out who you are, no? What do you want as a
Yeah,
human? So I think it's
exactly.
confusing times.
Yeah, I was still like, do I really want to do this? Like you would, but then it would get really hard and you'd be like, I don't know if I want this for like a split second. And then you're just very like fighting yourself, up and down, like what do you really want? And that's a tough decision for people that are a teenager.
You're not ready at the end to
Yeah,
make the big calls you have
at the
to
end
do.
of the day, you're not really mature enough to make those decisions, but you're kind of forced to.
Did you thought about going to college or it was never an
I
option?
did. So I never went and visited any schools, but I was at that point where I would have started.
Yeah.
And then, I did pretty well at the US Open and kind of just made the decision to turn pro at 17. I think it would have been fun. But yeah, I never did.
It's not easy to after it's a couple of years where you're like more like focusing on study or playing the.
I also hated school, so I had like no desire to go to
Okay,
school.
so that makes it easy. If you can avoid
Yeah,
that.
I like really did not like school. I think college would have been different. Like I
Yeah.
think I would have really
Yeah.
enjoyed playing on a team, and I think I would have managed my way through it, but I did not like enjoy school at all ever.
Yeah.
I did it well enough because I knew I had to, and like I'm kind of like a perfectionist a little bit, so I would always make sure like I got it done, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to learn
Yeah,
anything
you were
in the
happy to
school
leave the
system.
textbooks behind,
Yes,
right?
I was like, tennis, take me away so I don't have to,
Please
to go to
take me away.
school. Yeah, I just wasn't. Some people are into it. I just wasn't interested. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you there.
Yeah.
And,
Nice.
And then the transition to top 100,
Mhm.
you had to go through injuries and maybe a bit more time than some players to pass that important step, let's say in tennis. Did you had doubt that you will be able to make it?
Yeah, it took me so long, and I kept like getting close, and then I kind of get hurt, and then like I'd come back and I get back to like, top 150, then I get kind of hurt again, so it started to become like this hurdle that like I was like, why can't I just break this goal? Like it's it becomes bigger in your mind than it probably is. And luckily I was able to do that finally. I don't know how old I was, maybe 25 or 26, I don't remember.
Which, 25, I think.
25, I think. Yeah. And I felt just relieved. I was like, oh, that wasn't like that hard. Like, why was because I think I just started making it like, it's not going to happen. Like, I keep having these roadblocks, and you're like, is this not meant to be? Like, I'm not sure. And I just had a different career. I just did a lot better, a lot later. And everyone else I knew already did it. So it kind of became like drawn out, and I think a bigger deal in my head than it really was. I mean, I think it was good I set it as a goal. But then after I did it, I was like, okay, that was like not that difficult.
I think also in tennis, obviously, like the cap of the 100 is important as the ranking, but also it means like you qualify directly for the slams.
Yeah.
So that's also why maybe in our head we make it more like of a big deal, because like you qualified for the 4th slam, and that's like a big achievement.
Yeah, and it's funny because you play qualifying and like everything else, but like in a lot of the big tournaments, qualifying so tough, and then all of a sudden, but if you're top 100, you're in main draw of all the slams, which is like at the end of the day what everyone knows is the slams. So it's just kind of like this weird like mental, I don't know, trick that it plays on you where it becomes like this massive deal, but then you could be ranked 85 and being qualifying somewhere really tough, and then you're like brought back down. So like it's odd, but I was finally able to break, and it is a little bit of a ranking jump where you usually have to do well or win a tournament or maybe win 100 or 120, something that kind of bumps you into that range. So it is one of those, I think, gaps where you do have to kind of do well for like a few weeks in order to kind of jump into there. And I think I just never was consistent enough or could do it, and injuries and all this stuff. But eventually got the monkey off my back, I guess.
Nice.
And with yourself, or also from others, as you made it a bit later, did you suffer like comparison?
You mean like comparing myself to like?
Yeah.
I mean, you're always kind of comparing yourself, I guess, to your peers, just because that's who you grew up playing with. That's the names you always saw, especially the better players. But I think I kind of just accepted that like I was on my own journey, and I just kind of stopped caring and used it more as just like motivation. That, I've practiced with these girls, I play these girls. Like there's no reason that I can't do the same things that they're doing. So I think I used that more as motivation as I got older, and not like comparing results, which was probably the right thing. I'm glad I did, because I think it's just a healthier way to look at things. I mean, you want to like push each other, but at the same time, you can't compare yourself really with results and rankings and stuff. It just, you can if you want, but I just don't think that doing that in the end is kind of healthy, especially if you're not, doing well and you just keep thinking. negatively about it.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, maybe like the theory it's clear, no? Maybe it's true. It can be tricky, when you see like people that were like at the same level that you that start to go a bit faster. No, and maybe it takes a lot of discipline to understand that you're in that journey and be able to like know that your time will arrive. Like, hey, when I'm practicing with this person, I'm more or less same level, so my time is going to come. It's like,
exactly.
I'm still doing the good things.
I think you just have to trust that you're doing the right things. You're doing, good things. And I feel like if anything, like hopefully I've showed that not everyone has the same journey.
Yes, no, for sure.
Everyone locks on to the girl that does really well when she's 15 or 16 or that breaks through. And those are amazing stories. But there's a lot of other people that don't get there the same way. And no one cares as long as you get there.
And in a way, maybe to be a late bloomer, if you can say that, because at 25 to be very successful is not late bloomer.
I know,
But maybe it's a blessing, no? Because maybe like once you make it like to the top 100 or you start to also face this pressure from the outside world, even your own expectations.
Yeah.
You are more prepared, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think so. And people ask me, how do you handle everything so well? And I'm like, well, I think I had a chance to like mature.
Yeah.
And then when this all happened, I didn't feel like that overwhelmed, or I didn't feel this like crazy pressure, unless it was from myself, which, happens. But like from the outside, I didn't feel that. I would be so mentally drained. Like I'm just mentally drained thinking about like all the young girls that do so well. I'm like, I'm already tired from being a top player for like 3 or 4 years. I can't imagine for like 10 years or 15 years, just like the repetitiveness of it. Like I would just be so like, I'm done. Like I would be like, I'm retired at like 25,
and and you reach it at that age where you're already like a woman, you know yourself a bit better. Like sometimes I think it was Jenny Bouchard, in the episode, like she reached success when she was like 16, 17, 18. You're not ready to handle it there. It's like so much stuff. When you're still a teenager, like you don't know who you are as a human. So I think it can be like a disguised blessing, that one, like you feel you're on top of the world. Sorry, that one. I'm glad we have an English teacher in the podcast for once.
We're fighting our way.
It means the same thing. But like, in the US we say like blessing in disguise.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
No, I totally agree. And so I've looked at that, like you said, as being a blessing in disguise. Like I can't imagine. It's amazing. Like I don't know how those girls. Like, I don't know, when you had success, you were pretty young, right? Like 18, 19, right?
Yeah, well, I had a famous kind of match with Sharapova when I was 17 at Roland Garros.
17, okay. I didn't realize you were that young. I thought you were like 19. I remember that
17.
match.
I had wild card first time Roland Garros. It was second round, and I was not ready.
Yeah.
I mean, my game was not ready. It was just like, it was one of those days.
Everything.
It was one of those days where everything was. But my level was 150.
Yeah.
So after when I went back to the tour, I was like, playing someone as a level of 150. So you couldn't expect me to do other things like that.
Yeah.
So it was like super tough. And then it was, at the end, it was a match that I lost. So it was like tough on me also to like build something from that. It was too much.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to surround yourself with good people, that even if you had like a very nice like moment in Paris, like can still like, hey, like take it easy, you're still at 150. So don't expect that you went from 150 to top 10 tennis like for 2 years. Maybe you have a good, you have to still work and things are bright for like the future is bright. But someone to keep you on your feet and understand that this is tough and like that.
Yeah, I think that's what's funny about tennis is that like it's really cool that can happen. Like you could have beaten Sharapova. Yeah. You didn't, but like it was there. But that's what makes it so cool, that you could have still days like this on any possible day. But then at the same time, like it's really hard week in and week out. Like you're like, I wasn't ready, like mentally, probably physically, your game, like you were still at 150. And that's what makes it so hard, is then people just see, oh, but like you should have beat Sharapova, like you were there, like you.
Yeah, and next day you should do the same.
That's what you should do every day.
The media is expecting that will happen every week now.
Yeah, it was a lot of like, obviously it was Roland Garros, so it was huge exposition. And so a lot of pressure from the outside and from the team around, everyone like started to dream too much. And me, I was 17, so obviously I started to dream also.
Did you feel your family, that at the end was your team, changed after like that week? You started to feel more pressure? We never talked about it.
A good question. I don't know. I think the feeling was like, I was supposed to enter the match of Sharapova, and I was kind of not expected to win, but like play as
of course.
of winning. And then obviously the disappointment was huge for everyone that I was so close. And for 17 years old, I would say I was maybe a bit less mature than other ones. So for me, it was like, too much.
Yeah, too much. Exactly.
Too much. But you're still a kid also, so you start to dream. I mean, you can be also a dreamer.
But dreaming is great. I think you need to dream, but also be realistic on where you are and then dream of how far you can get. No?
Yeah. I feel like you just can't get too high and you can't get too low. Yeah. That's what I always try to think.
That's the story of my career.
like mentally though. Like, you can't get too... It's like you can't be too like, oh my God, like I can win the French Open next year. Like, okay, realistically, I feel like you just have to keep your, like, it's hard though. It's a balance because you want to be confident and you want to play with that, like, nothing to lose, like, dreamer mentality. But then at the same time, like, you have to, especially nowadays with the depth is so good, you can't really get ahead of yourself because any girl can beat you on any day. So it's like you're constantly like, am I confident? But like, I don't want to get too confident because I want to like respect my opponent. But then, I need to believe. But then you can't be like,
But in a way, maybe like having 7-8 years of hard work until you get your breakthrough, kind of, helps you to keep this like, okay, this is tough.
I think it helped. I think it helped me because I couldn't imagine like dealing with that. Like I don't think it would have worked out for me.
How important was for you to surround yourself with like a good team to keep helping you?
Yeah, really important. And I think for me too, like the biggest thing for me was making my own decisions. So I felt like when I was like 24 going to 25. So I think 24, I was probably coming out of an injury. And I remember my parents were kind of like, I just remember my mom being very like, okay, like, what are you doing? Like, she's pretty like honest. So she was very like, what are you doing with your life? Like, is this what you're going to keep doing? Because like, this isn't going to work, like we need to either see more commitment or more something or, but they also weren't very like involved
on the daily basis.
Like they didn't know a lot of the stuff, like the ins and outs. Like they weren't with me when I'm playing challengers for 3 weeks straight and you're like trying so hard and it's just like a grind and it's not going well. And so they a little bit didn't get it. But at the same time, I was actually really glad she told me that because I basically said, all right, well, like, yes, I want to keep doing this, but like I make every decision from now on. And so we kind of came to like a little, because they obviously were helping me financially. And they're like, all right, well, the money that, you've made, you keep that money and use it to hire your own coach and hire your own this. And I basically kind of just said like, okay, like, but you are not involved, like zero, like nothing. Like I need to do this on my own because there was always like, even from my teenage years, I think I was a little scarred by like some of the coaches that I had that I didn't really like. And I feel like, as a tennis player, when people are kind of like not like a little bit full of it, because tennis is such a small world. So if someone's like good or not. And so I would kind of know and they wouldn't know because they weren't that involved. Like they weren't with me on the court. They weren't helping me teach, stuff like that. So there was a couple coaches where I was like, these guys are like, it's like, I didn't like it, So I kind of had that in the back of my mind. It was like, all right, well, I'm going to hire my own coach, do whatever I want, my own schedule. So I did everything on my own. And like literally since then, I just like went up. And I think I really liked that I was able to make my own decisions. And even though it was hard, it was on me, but I liked that. I liked that it was my decision.
Well, sometimes to have to be accountable, like now I need to prove that I know I know how to make my calls.
Exactly.
It's that extra, like
I think I was kind of like motivated, like
the ego.
If I did well, I was like, see, I told you, like I know what to do, and like you didn't know what to do. Not that extreme, but like that's kind of like the motivation. I guess a little bit of ego.
Age also, it's like.
Yeah, I was at that age too. I was 24.
It's a bit the age where you're like...
I'm like kind of an adult. Like,
and you need to learn by failing also.
Yeah.
I think it was Ivan Ljubicic that he's a great player, amazing coach, and we were talking about his kid who's trying to become a pro and he's trying to stay out of it. It's like, if he needs me, he can ask me something, but he needs to be the one like making his calls, failing, because if I'm there, maybe I will help him a lot, like to grow, like ranking wise or tennis wise, but he's not going to grow as a human.
Yeah.
And once I'm out, he will like completely like be lost. And so You know, like he needs to figure out life by himself. Like me, I need to like be there as a father, not as a tennis coach. And then when like the guy is growing, you will never know. Like it's impossible to know how far he will make it. But like the guy is like a nice guy. He's developing as a nice human.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right call. Like to keep that free while still guiding them and using your experience, right?
Yeah. I think just long term, it's so much healthier, you know? And for me, I don't think I would have made those decisions on my own if I wasn't honestly probably hurt like a few times, because when I was injured, I was out for, a year and a half, and then another year, I was just like a normal person. Like I went out, I had friends, I did a bunch of normal things, and I feel like really just came into my like growing as a person, kind of figured out who I was and like what I wanted to do. I really miss playing tennis. I wanted to make sure I came back and I stayed healthy as much as possible and really take care of myself. And I was but I don't think that would have happened if I didn't have that time to kind of be normal a little bit.
And have the perspective of how lucky it is to be a tennis player.
Have that perspective and realize, okay, if I'm going to do this, like it needs to be on me. Like I need to make my own decisions. And maybe not every person is like that. Maybe some people need more support. But for me, I was like pretty confident in myself off the court. And I felt like when it came to tennis, I was like the opposite. Like I kind of maybe let other people decide things for me that I didn't really want. And maybe, that's fair. When you're young, you don't know what you're doing. But those first couple years in my 20s, I felt I grew as a person. And then I was like, you know what? I know what I want. And I know like the decisions I'm going to make. And if I fail, that's fine. But I'm confident that I'll make the right one, because at the end of the day, it's my decision.
Fair enough.
And my decision is the right one. So it didn't really...
Yeah, you are the one who know yourself the best.
Yeah.
And after on the court, you're the one taking decision when it's like 5-all.
That's what I mean. I'm like...
Deuce, like break point opportunities, like I have to go, I don't have to go, but it's on me.
It's like I'm like, it's not really a wrong decision. It's just me out there. Like what...
I felt it that way at that moment.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was whatever it is, I thought it was the right decision.
Yeah. It's true. Many coaches like try to control also too much, right? They try to tell you like what you have to do in every single moment, right? When I love when Duran Cahill, he was like telling us that for him, a great coach is someone who like doesn't tell you what to do, but kind of gives you options, right? He says, okay, you can do this, this, and this. For me, maybe this is the right call, but just go out there and figure it out, right? And I think like that's when growth really happens, right? When you understand like, okay, I can do this.
It's so easy from the sidelines.
Yes.
I love when they're like, oh, you should have. I'm like, what was I supposed to do in that situation? Like, if I would have hit a winner, you would have said it was the greatest shot ever.
Yeah, that's what Colin says. That he doesn't allow coaches to say that was a wrong call. Like, if I put it in, you're like, that's a great shot.
Yeah, I'm like, you have no idea. And how, like, then there's luck involved. There's what they do. Like, you don't. It's such a hard sport. Like, So I agree. You just have to hopefully have your options and feel comfortable making those options, and then that's that. Like, you can't really go back and overthink it or have a coach dictating. At least I don't do well when it's like when it's too strict.
Yeah. I think long term nobody does, right? Like maybe you can sustain it for 1 year or 2 years, but then burnout happens when you still feel like oppressed. It's like one day like you're gonna rebel.
You're like, I just want to make my own decision. It's hard.
Yeah, it's not the easiest, I can tell you.
Yeah.
But also it's like the latest you get like your own decision and everything, the hardest it is. And like probably like the less confident you are with yourself. And like when it's a bit younger, you feel you have more option to fail because you're kind of young. And when you're getting a bit old, when you're getting a bit older and it starts to be on you, it's sometimes tougher like to stay with your own decision maybe.
Yeah.
Well, and a kid at 17, 18 is when they're developing their personality and understanding who they are. So if they understand that you have to make your own shots, it's easier for you to understand, okay, maybe that's how it has to work.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's too just becoming an adult, Yeah. Even if you're not playing tennis, you can make all these stupid decisions when you're young. And then all of a sudden, maybe they have repercussions as you get older. You're making your own money now. You're not relying on your family or I don't know, something. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, like that decision I made at 30 probably wasn't great. But if you're 15, nobody cares, you know? It's like what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just like fail and learn. And then, you get to an adult and you're supposed to be making like the right decisions, but nobody ever does. But I think it's just more
if you don't know like how to, like, if you can decide who your coach is, how can you choose who's gonna be your right husband, kind of, in a way, like so it's also a good exercise as a human, like to decide how you want to paint.
Yeah.
It's a good exercise.
I mean,
to
I think
make
it's
your
crazy that like some people don't realize, obviously, like my parents, whatever, own sports teams and stuff like that, but you're kind of in charge of your own team. Like you're like the owner.
Yeah.
And you have to make all these decisions. And obviously our teams maybe are a little smaller than like a soccer team or basketball team, football
It's still
team.
like a small company in a way.
But you're like, you're basically running like your own company, like your own business. Like, and you're trying to make the best decisions. You're trying to like manage people, manage your team, manage their personalities, hire new people, like fire people. It's hard. And it's like, you're doing this from like a 17, 18 years old. Like it's crazy. It's so hard, and it's just not, it's not normal, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think it's put on you at such a young age when you're really not meant to be doing that stuff. I mean, if you were a normal kid, you would have most likely just gone to college and taken 3 or 4 years to figure it out. And then maybe you're in your early 20s and you're still figuring it out. And then, maybe you're like past 30 and you have somewhat of an idea, but like tennis, you're like, all right, 16 years old, you're really good. It starts. And then you're traveling, and it's just a lot.
Yeah, the amount of pressure is crazy.
And like you said, like tennis is like little team and you have to manage and everything. Did you take some advice from your parents from managing team sport, or
Not
or
really,
you just
no.
try to do it on your own? I mean, it's very different, obviously.
Yeah, it's very different. I definitely learned, I think my mom was definitely the one that managed people really well. She knew how to communicate really well with people, and even if she didn't agree or didn't like someone, I think she would always be like classy or respectful about it. Like it was never emotional. And I'm not super emotional either. So I think I got a lot of that from her as far as like being able to adapt to situations really well. Whereas maybe, I don't know, some other people, that's just not their personality. Not that it's wrong or whatever,
No,
but it's people are just different. And I think I just learned that, one, people are different and not everyone operates the same way. And two, how to manage people the best I can. So I think in that aspect, I maybe took that from her, and kind of try to utilize that into at least reading people and trying to understand who I thought was maybe best to work with me, what I didn't like, and also learning too, we always told her she was too nice. So we'd be like, Mom, you need to like, this person did this, like, you got to like say something. And she's like, I know, but like, and it was hard for her to be like mean and like strict, even as a mom. So like when she needed to be, like, my little sister would just like laugh and my mom would just laugh like in the middle of trying to like discipline her. So she's just like that person. So I think I also learned in that sense, learned from her mistakes, as like, okay, there is a time where you need to be like a little bit more direct. And
well, you can be direct and respectful at the same time.
And I think I've learned that definitely more from my dad. I think more from my husband, who's way more into like a business mindset, where it's more like cutthroat, but it's like normal. Like he's like, no, it's just like, it's just what happens. And like to me, I'd be like, oh my God, like that's horrible, or like you shouldn't say that. It's like, oh no, this is like normal. So I've learned also how to be more that way. I felt like when I needed to be. And because sometimes you just need to be, to be, and it's hard, especially if it's not your personality, which it's not really my personality. But I think you learn.
I mean, once a problem is there, the sooner you face it and you solve it, the smaller it's going to stay.
I definitely was one. Because not a lot of things bother me. So I'll deal with things, doesn't bother me. Even though it's like maybe irritate me a little bit, but then it kind of builds.
Explodes,
and then I like kind of like lose my mind and I'm like, why didn't, and then I get mad at myself because I'm like, why didn't I say anything before? Why didn't I say anything the first time it bothered me? So it's always like this battle of, it's just my personality of like trying to be, address things sooner rather than later. I would say is maybe the downfall of like the way that I am. But so I've tried to learn from, their personalities and how they handle things. not just with the teams, but in everything
general
in
for
life. Yeah. And try to, do the best I can to make adjustments from what I've seen from them.
After tough matches or tough tournaments, are you hard on yourself and do you become like very depressed or very depressed maybe?
I would say I try not to be. Like I said, I try not to have too many highs, too many lows. I think that's always been something I try to focus on. Obviously, sometimes I'm really upset after a loss. I think last year I was definitely way tougher on myself. I would just get really, really pissed after losing a match, like very fresh, not like angry, but like a lot of frustration, and hard on myself. I think the years before that and this year I've been much better. So whatever the reason is, I think I was just really burnt out last year. And so the beginning of last year, I just like I just like couldn't deal with it. Like I would just be like, I'm so miserable after I lose. And I kind of knew though, okay, that I shouldn't feel like that. I need to kind of reset, like something needs to change. Um, and so I did, make changes, different coach, took a break for a second, kind of reset. And then I got hurt, which in hindsight maybe was a good thing because I think it kind of gave me a couple months to like just chill. I tend to kind of overwork and overdo things and want to do too much. So I kind of have to tell myself to stop. Um, so I think those things kind of go hand in hand. Like, you lose and you think, okay, I need to practice more and more and more.
Yeah.
And you maybe aren't getting the results you want. And then it gets worse and worse. And you're like, I'm putting in the work. Why isn't it working? And then you get more frustrated. So I felt like the end of 2023 into 2024, that's kind of how I was feeling. I was like overworked, overplaying, and like very annoyed after losing matches. I feel like my perspective wasn't great. So luckily I feel completely different this year, which is great.
Nice.
But yeah, it's hard balancing. I try not to be that way. I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't. Like it definitely certain matches, I feel like it depends too where you are emotionally, how the match ended, what were your goals? Like did you really, if it was at the French Open, I'm sure you'd be more upset than at some random tournament. So I think there's a lot of factors that kind of play, like what's been building that week. Like, did you have good practices? Did you have bad practices? Did you completely choke or was it just a really good match? And you're like, you know what, too good. So I think it literally kind of just depends on like the build up to that match, the results, the practices, my mood, how I've been feeling off the court. And there's just a lot of different things, but,
when we see you on court, you always like look so stable. It's like nothing can bother her. It's like her.
I know. Everyone says that. It's so funny. I don't know. I think it's just because it's honestly just my personality, because even when I'll look and be like, oh, that match, I was really, really mad. And then like I look and I'm like, I don't even look that mad. So I think it's just like what I'm thinking doesn't come out like into my
like
presence.
The roller coaster is on the inside. It's still on the inside.
It's like even when I think like, oh, my attitude was terrible, and I'm like, I didn't look like I was doing anything, And I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't look that mad, or even like that excited. Like if I'm like fired up, like, oh yeah, I was really fired up that match, and I'm just kind of like walking from point to point. I'm like, oh, I thought I looked more
That's a good skill, kind
energetic. I don't know.
The opponent doesn't know what's going on the other side, which is helpful.
So it's funny because when I was growing up, everyone always, and I say everyone as in my parents or my coaches at the time, like never really liked my attitude. I always kind of had a bad attitude. And so not a bad attitude, but they'd say, you look like you don't care.
Passive kind of.
Yeah. And I'd be like, so then I kind of got this complex, like they were trying to get me to be fired up. And I'd be like, okay, but like I can't do that.
How do I do it?
Yeah. So then I get mad. I think then I just started kind of being more emotional and maybe a little bit more like bad attitude.
Yeah.
Because people would tell me it was bad. And I'd be like, but I was trying to like be something that I wasn't.
Yeah.
And it just never worked. So it's funny now, I get so many compliments like, oh, you're so calm and I love your presence on the court. I'm like, it's so funny because like I felt like my whole teenage years, I was just being told how to act, what to be, what to do, and I had no idea like what my personality was. And then I was just like, you know what, I don't really care.
Because
like,
now you're winning. But maybe like if once, for whatever reason, you go back to top 100 or whatever, maybe people will blame you for the same reason. That,
it's
like
true. It's
you're
like,
just calm
find
on the court.
something. I'm like, and then it was funny, like once I just stopped caring about how to act and like pretending to be like excited or mad or whatever it was, then I kind of just fell into like probably maturing as well. Fell into a natural pattern where now I don't feel like I have to force anything.
Being you helps in a way that it's one thing less you have to worry about, right? Because if you have to worry about how you have to behave on the court,
I was like,
it's one more thing you have to keep in your brain. It's not going to help.
Worried about whether I jump around this point or like fist pump here. Like what? Like that's to me, I think it's so stupid. I'm like,
for sure.
What am I thinking about these things? Like, of course, there are times where you feel a little sluggish and you need to fire yourself up, and maybe you're trying to change the momentum a little bit and you're trying to get yourself going. But that's different. It's not like, everyone that told me how to act, I'm like, it's whatever.
And at the end, the most important is also that you're living your emotion inside. Like if for you, like you feel excitement or, like you get a bit frustrated if you are doing mistakes or whatever, it's the most important. If you don't show to the other people, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're regulating it how you should. And obviously there's a better way to do that. There's obviously a bad way to do it. But at the same time, if you're not forcing like a fake personality, like I did not do well when people told me that. And then I would just be overthinking it and then it would just get worse.
Fair enough.
It's true that people always
telling you how to act.
They know better, like, oh, you're supposed to fist bump when you do the break and everything. It's like, if I don't feel it, I don't feel it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna win a fake fist pump. Like that's a complete waste of energy to me. I like that's also another thing too is like when I getting like super fired up or even super mad, it like drains me a lot. I never do well. Like it's fun, okay, to get the crowd going and stuff like that, but I'm like, my God, that was a lot of like, I'm tired. Like, I don't know. It's like a different type of energy, you know? It's like kind of your nervous system, like your emotional aspect. And to me, for me, it's very draining. So that's also another reason why I'm not super high, because when I'm super high, I feel like I crash.
After 10 minutes, you're like...
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, I can't keep this up. Just
fair enough.
Some people like that. I get too tired. I'm like, emotionally, this is too draining. It's like I'm like, again, too much like this. I
stability most of the times is a good thing. So.
Yeah. And that I always feel like I do my best when I'm like that, for sure.
And these last years, as you started to climb in the ranks, starting to have like really some good results, and like I guess a lot of outside expectation happens, maybe also your own, right? Like before, maybe winning 2 matches in a slam was a blessing, and now like maybe it changes. How are you handling this?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that's what happened last year is I was just expecting too much results orientated and not enough enjoying getting better as a player. I think I always do better when I am working on things and my goals are to try and hit this shot in the match, when I'm working on becoming a better player, incorporating things and just getting better every single day, whether it's just a kick serve or a drop shot or something that seems really small, keeps my focus there on improving instead of results and playing. So I think kind of where I felt burnt out at the end of 2023 into 2024, I just didn't feel like it was getting better. I was like, I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And, they say what do they say? Like doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result just means like you're crazy. So I felt like I was becoming crazy. Like that's why I was getting so frustrated, because I'm like, I'm not trying anything different. Like, why am I not doing anything different? And I would lose these matches and I would just come off the court so frustrated that I couldn't figure it out. And it was like eating me alive. Like, why couldn't I figure that out? At least for a split second, like something different. And I think that really kind of was eating away at me. So I guess my mentality with trying to go deeper in tournaments and having different expectations still always comes back to me as just trying to get better as a player and focusing on like the really small goals.
Well, and control what you can control,
Yeah.
right? Because like I think like sometimes when you reach like some ranking or some good result, you start to obsess on things that
Yeah.
you actually can control.
Yeah.
And like if you focus on the journey, on, as you say, keep improving, which you
Yeah.
can actually do it, no? You can improve your drop shot.
Yeah.
Like that's probably at the end gonna end up in a good outcome for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then, you know, hopefully at 4-all in the third, you're able to hit the drop shot and you're like, oh my God, like it's the greatest thing ever. And like, you're not even worried about the match. You're just like so excited that like, oh my God, I have that shot now. You know, like stuff like that, I think is again, the healthiest way to look at things, at least for me, and keeps driving me and keeping me focused and motivated.
It makes the journey more pleasant in a way.
So much
also.
better when you focus on a ton of the results or win or lose and all this stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, of course, you're competitive. It's always better when you can do stuff and you win, right? Like, I'm not going to lie and say, like, everyone loves losing. Of course not. But I think just that mentality day in and day out, for sure, especially when you're on the road, weeks are long, training gets boring sometimes. Things kind of feels like Groundhog Day. I think that can also add up and lead to that frustration. So you have to kind of take a step back and like, what are you trying to improve? What are you trying to get better? And hopefully that falls in line with what your coach and what your team wants to. And then that makes it even easier.
Last year, you did final in US Open. And before that, it was quarterfinal, your best result in Slam. To pass that step and to make it to the like last step of Slams, for you, how was it? Like, I guess it was one of your goals to be able to do better in Slams.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wanted to go further, but I mean, also too, that was one of those things where I felt like it just became a thing and I didn't even really think it was a thing. I'm like, quarterfinals, like it's still pretty good. Like I was losing to good players and I think like, I don't know how many quarterfinals I made, but like majority of them like won the tournament. So I'm just sitting there like, well, oh yeah, like I wish I would have beaten the number 2 ranked player in the quarterfinals, but I didn't. And then they won the tournament. Like why? So I never really even thought it was that big of a deal. So to be honest, making the semis of the US Open didn't feel that different, or sorry, finals, but I mean, breaking that, the quarterfinal jump didn't really feel that different to me because I was just like,
for you, you
it
were
feels
losing
the same.
against someone better than...
Yeah, it felt the same. And yeah, I beat Iga and she was the number 1 player at the time. So yeah, it was really cool. Got to play on Ash at night, got a huge win, but it felt like no different than me. Yeah, at least to me, because I mean, I feel like at that stage too, you're gonna play somebody good. You're gonna say or somebody that's playing really well. It's gonna be really hard. So I felt the media just kept kind of making it a thing, and I was like, I don't really know why this is a thing. Like, I don't know. I can't remember everyone I've lost to in the quarters, but I mean, like Vondrousova, that one was tough because I was up 4-1 in the third at Wimbledon, and I was playing really well. And that, you know, when you have that week where you're like, I like actually think I'm gonna like win Wimbledon. Like I actually thought I was gonna at least make the finals. I was playing really, really good. I liked my draw. Like I kind of felt like everything was gonna happen, and that was tough. Whatever. She won Wimbledon. Like, what can I do? Like, there's nothing to do. Like, what can I say? I mean, I think I lost to Ash Barty, who probably won whatever she was playing. You know, I remember losing to Jen Brady. She made finals. I mean, she was playing so good, made semis of the US Open, lost to Naomi, who won both. So, I mean, like, I feel like looking at the results, it's not like I'm sitting there.
No, of course.
Just like choking, like not being able to play. Like I played a good match. I think I lost to Iga in another one where she won US Open. That was the year I think she won US Open. I lost her in the quarters.
So 22?
I think so. So I'm like, what's the big deal? But you know, everyone kind of makes, oh, how do you get past the hurdle? I was like, I need to win another match to get past. I don't know, what else do I need to do? So it was funny when I made the semis for the first time. It honestly didn't feel that much different. I was like, okay, I did it. Now everyone can stop asking me.
That's good.
Do you feel, I don't know if that's the right word, but like obsessed with winning a specific tournament, or you just like really are able to take it one day at a time and see how far I can get and that's it?
I don't know if I've ever been obsessed with winning.
Because it feels a lot of tennis players are like actually, you know, like tense and obsessed with finally making it and winning a slam or something. And you seem to have maybe a different approach.
Yeah. It all kind of feels the same. I feel like at the end of the day, like, I made finals of the US Open, great. And then I was back in Asia and I was just, you're out there and you're battling and it all feels the same at the end of the day. I'm sitting there getting annoyed and frustrated and lost. I'm like, and everyone's like, oh, you just made finals of the US Open. I'm like, I'm pissed. I just lost in Beijing, like in Wuhan. Like I'm out here. You go back to the same thing like a couple weeks later.
That's what you shared about the finals.
That's what's so hard about tennis. It's like you have this amazing achievement and then you're right back.
Yeah, I mean, you win great title, like 250, 500, 1000, whatever. And then at the end, the next first time, most of the time don't have much time to celebrate.
No.
And then the next week, like everyone wants to beat you.
Yeah.
And you have to play first round like everyone else.
Yeah.
And you will want something bigger. Like if you win one slam, it's like, now I won the second. So yeah. It's
and
again.
So I was just right back in Asia, like ready to lose my mind. Like why not playing well, like frustrated. And I'm like, oh, you just made. I'm like, great, but like I don't like. Someone was like, I don't care. Like I want to win now because you move on to the next week and. That's what I think is so hard about tennis is like you don't really get time to like appreciate what you've done. And it's not like intentionally that I'm saying I don't care that I made the US Open final, but it's just that happened and now I'm in a different situation in a different week and I'm being told to perform now. So I'm thinking about now. And when I'm thinking about now, the US Open final doesn't matter, at this moment. Like I'm trying to win this match and we've moved on and the world kind of just keeps moving on and tennis just moves on at a very fast pace.
Very fast.
Yeah, very, very, very quick.
Do you try sometimes to slow it down, like to balance your schedule or take some breaks?
I've, especially as I've gotten older, and two, I think, trying to appreciate like the results and the wins that I've had, taking a second to like appreciate that I think is important. So I've definitely tried to do that more the last couple years, go out to dinner with my team, have a couple drinks and just like appreciate like, hey, like we had a great week. Like it's all good. Like, even after Miami, I was like, let's just like do a dinner. Like I lost the final, but like we just had a great 2 weeks and I lost. And I don't know. I think those little kind of resets it. And so you don't feel like you're kind of like on this hamster wheel that just keeps going. Which then it's tough to stop that, especially, if you're tired and you're worn out and you're drained. So the last few years I've tried to take more time to really appreciate, just what you're doing. Cause at the end of the day, I always try to come back to, when I was a kid, this is what I wanted to do. So I always love like the Kobe Bryant quote where he was like, the dream is the journey.
Yeah.
He's like, that is what it is. It's not, I mean, yes, of course you want to win and you want to do these things, but he's like that the dream is like what you're doing, the whole thing.
It's the only thing there is at the end.
It's the grind, it's the ups, it's the downs, it's the bad days and the good days. That's actually like what you were dreaming of when you were a kid. And I'm like, that's true. So I try to keep that in perspective. Obviously easier said than done sometimes, but you try.
If you don't enjoy the journey at the end, whatever you achieve is kind of worthless, right? Like if you were miserable all the way to winning your slam, it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I have any kind of admiration for you.
Yeah, it's not, that's not fun. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
And the time is longer than it really is at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's so much more too after tennis. Like, I mean, come on, like, we hit a stupid tennis ball around the court and like put so much pressure on ourselves.
She looks quite stupid.
Yeah, I'm like, well, like, and we're acting, like it's life or death. It's really not life or death. So I think when you have things that happen and it changes your perspective, and there's a lot of things after tennis, and I think you want to be able to enjoy those things because that's gonna hopefully be the majority of your life.
Yeah.
And tennis becomes just a part of it, but not
I think
your whole life.
There's a pattern on all the players that maybe because of their youth, it was like life or death. Like they always like, it's miserable. Like, and at the end it's burnout here or there, but you have to like have some perspective. And if you're not able to enjoy it, it's going to be very hard to also want to work hard. Like maybe you can do it for a few years, but after it's like.
Yeah, I don't think it's sustainable. I think it always kind of breaks down.
Yeah, exactly.
Or someone has to take a break, or maybe you get injured because you overdid it, and then that has to be your break. I think there's always something that kind of brings you back down to earth. It's just, can you take that and use that as a good thing to like, okay, I need to slow down.
Maybe that's why college is also very interesting, right? Because once you make it to the tour, you understand that maybe that's like not like it's really like something special. So you're able to be like feel more grateful about it, right?
Yeah, I think so too. It's maybe something a little different. You get to share with different people, have more of a life, more friends. You get a chance to be on your own at a young age. And when you get to the pros, you feel better equipped to kind of handle it.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself play more years? Long time?
What's long?
I don't know. Do you see yourself? Do you still enjoy tennis and traveling? And
yeah, I think, like I said, the 1 year I was definitely burnt out. This year I feel so much better. I'm like more excited to travel. I'm not like jumping up and down to travel, but like appreciating, being here in Madrid. Like I'm like, oh, this is a really nice city. I didn't get to come here last year because I was hurt, and I actually kind of miss it. So, I think this year I feel really good. I honestly feel like it's a year to year.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get ahead of yourself. It's like, do I feel healthy? Do I feel good this year? Do I feel like I can still compete at a high level? Then like I'd keep playing. I would definitely not be playing at 35. Definitely not. I think that's where I for sure have to stop.
Someone needs to take you out of the court maybe at 35.
Yeah, I think it would be cool maybe like to try make the Olympics because it's in LA in a couple years.
Fair enough.
3 years.
3 years. It's a long time though.
Well, you can have like a year break in the middle.
Technically like 2 years because then you qualify. So I'll probably have an idea by then if I'm in or not. So we'll make it sound like 2.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's 3, but like
it's just a cut for American women player is kind of high.
I know.
You have to be top 15 to make the cut. You know what I mean?
I think I was talking to Coco, and she was like, "He's better." She's like, "You can play till LA." She was like mad at me because I was like, yeah, maybe like a couple more years. She's like, if you're gonna play 2 more years, you might as well just play another year for the LA Olympics. And she's like, you can't retire before then. And I was like, 3 years. This was like a year before. So I was like, 4 years. I was like, Coco, it's like a long time. Like, I'm gonna be 34. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, you can just stay top 20. Like, with the way you hit the ball, you'll be fine. She's like, I'm not letting you retire before the LA Olympics, especially if you make, like, if I'm qualified. I was like, okay.
Well, she's still gonna be there.
Yeah, I was like, you're young. It's okay.
She'll still be under 20. I feel in LA.
I was like, you won't even be 25 yet. I'm like, you still can't rent a car. Like,
that's crazy.
But I think it's a different talk because if you want to have kids and stuff like that, you can't wait that long. And I definitely don't want to have kids and come back. I think when I have a kid, I'm done. And like I admire the women that do that, but it's just not. I think whenever I have a kid, I'm definitely done. So I wouldn't come back. So that's kind of why I say like, okay, maybe at least a couple more years, 2, 3, we'll see. I think LA Olympics would be kind of like
it's a cool motivation.
Cool motivation, a cool goal. But like at 35, I definitely don't want to be playing past that. Yeah. I feel like there's so many other things I want to do. I'm like,
life is very rich.
There's so many things that I like want to try and do that I can't because of our schedule. And even though I appreciate it, I'm like, I think I will experience enough by then where I'm ready, I think, to
I think one day you will wake up like, okay, this is it.
Yeah,
I'm ready to move on.
Yeah,
there's no like, it doesn't make much sense to worry about it now.
No,
like,
exactly.
It's one day at a time, and whenever it feels ready, you will.
And like I said, if you're maybe something happens, you're not healthy, and you realize I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like going through rehab or having a surgery or whatever the situation is. Then maybe you change your mind. I don't know. How are you? 30? You're 31.
31.
Yeah, same.
I'm probably not playing much longer.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel you.
I think, we want to have a family. Yeah. And same. I don't see myself, or we don't see ourselves traveling with a little kid. I respect a lot, same, the
can't do it.
person who choose to do it. But, I've been on tour for a very long time, and I can't say I enjoyed all the ride. For me, sometimes I've been very tough.
Yeah.
And obviously now that we have the chance to travel together, it helps me a lot to balance it.
Yeah.
But I have some moment where I'm very struggling, and if I lose like not all the good moment, but the cool moment, or I suffer too much on court, for me it's not worth it anymore. Yeah. And last year, obviously, the break helped me a lot.
Yeah.
I had to fight my way through last year because I wanted to play Olympics.
Yeah.
It was very important to play, but I was struggling all year.
Yeah.
And then when I took the break, he helped me like recess and like take a breath, but more like importantly, like think of what I really wanted to do. And also sometimes you have to understand maybe it's time to like turn the page or you want to do something else. And obviously you don't have time to do everything when you're on tour.
No, you have no time.
You have no time, and then you travel and everything. So it's like, I think I'm ready to like let it go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's nice though. I mean, like sometimes like you said, it can just, you don't want to like end your tennis career with like a bad taste in your mouth, you know, like end it like where I was miserable for the last like couple years and you're like, I want nothing to do with it. Like, I don't want, that's how I feel. I'm like, I don't want to end it and be like, I hate tennis.
Yeah. Me last year, like she was like, I don't want to play anymore. It's like, you do whatever you want. Me, of course, I'm happy to stay at home, but I would not advise you like of running away from like the problem you have. Like fix the problem.
Yeah.
Be peaceful in a tennis court one more time and then run away.
Yeah.
But then you will be like, you know, like it was on my own term. I didn't like
exactly.
I didn't have to leave because I had an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, on your own and not like in a I don't want to end like being miserable for a year and then like just hating it and then just be like I'm done and then you don't pick up a racket for like 20 years. Like I like, cause I love tennis. Like I do like it's so much fun and everyone, I've connected with so many people that way. So I always feel like I don't want to end it like that, but sometimes it gets tough. Sometimes you're like, why do I do this to myself? It's like mentally, it's just so tough. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And you're getting married.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That is the best. Yeah.
Which advice will you give to your younger self?
To my younger self, I would probably say, I mean, probably kind of what we talked about. Like, it's a journey. There's no right or wrong path. You know, as long as you're putting your best self out there, you're working hard, and not to get hung up on like the super highs and the super lows. It can change so fast. I mean, what's tough about our sport is, it's every week. It's so quick, but then at the same time, you know, if you have a bad week, you have the opportunity to change it the next week. And not a lot of sports have that, like, you know, like the Olympics or these sports where they have one season and then it's gone. And if you can't capitalize on that, it's over. So I think that's the great thing about tennis, and just not to get hung up on the highs and lows and think more long term and try to enjoy it as much as possible. But I definitely think when I was younger, like everybody, I'm sure you get hung up on like the really the low moments. And now like I look back at those low moments and they're like really funny. Like, or like they're like good stories, you know? I see like an old coach, I'm like, you remember when we were in, you know, this challenger and that, you know, I got cheated out, the umpire made the bad call and then I totally lost my mind and I lost the match. Like, you know, you like laugh at it. You're like, God, that was rough, but it becomes like a fun story.
Yes.
So you don't realize like how many of those like really tough moments are actually like the moments I feel like I talk about more, you know?
Yeah,
like those like weird bad weeks I like are way more
good
funny.
Memories.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I don't really talk about like the weeks that I won. You just say like, I won the tournament, but it's not like a funny story. So I would appreciate those more.
Do you remember the first time we played each other?
It was at that tournament in France. Was it Marseille?
Yeah, it was Marseille.
Yeah. And you had like a torn ab, right? No, I had a torn ab. Did you tear your stomach muscle? No, I tore my stomach muscle.
But you
and
won.
I like couldn't serve. And I was just like slicing.
Like she won.
And you were just, I think, like missing returns. Right?
But probably that can be true. I think the day before I won against Alizé Cornet.
Yes.
And so I was world card in the tournament, so I was 18 maybe. And I won Alizé, so it was like huge deal, even if she was at a low point. Then I played Jessie, and I think you were like lower ranked than me.
Definitely, yeah.
I was getting so frustrated because obviously like expectation playing with me again.
I knew that you were like, you know, like people were like talking about you and you're definitely supposed to win. And I just remember I tore my stomach muscle or like pulled it or something. And I was just hitting these like horrible slice serves and you just kept missing them. And I was like, oh my God, she's just missing all of them. Like, that's like hilarious.
Probably.
Like what, like that was.
I remember it was very, very bad. Like
it was a bad match. And then the court was like, where were we? We were like,
we played on a like very tiny court on the side.
Yeah,
and it was
on the
so
side,
bad
because there was two like next to each other.
And the center was behind.
Yeah. And it was just like, there were like leaves, one of those, like there's leaves all over the court. And this was like in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where we were. It was like 100K.
It was Marseille.
Pretty
sure. Marseille in the summer.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just, such a random play. Who won the tournament? I don't remember. But I do remember that was, the first time I played you. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That was a long time.
Like, that's
the
hilarious.
roller coaster emotion. I went from winning against Alizé's and I was like,
to losing to
the return,
me.
apparently.
I was, I don't know. I was definitely ranked like 250, I wasn't top 100 for sure. Maybe like 200.
No, me neither.
I think maybe I was like 250.
Yeah. The roller coaster of tennis.
Yeah, right?
But I remember that mine so clearly. Every time I see you, I'm like, Marseille.
I think, I don't know who I was with. Was I with Michael? Maybe?
The ball guy.
Michael, yeah. I was with Mike. Yeah. Oh my gosh. He remembers everything. Because I was with him a lot when I was like 17, 18.
Next time I will ask
20, 21. Yeah. He will remember he'll probably remember like every shot and everything.
On my return in the court.
Yeah.
Which was two.
I just remember, I like strained my ab and I was just like slicing these like crappy serves in, and
it's not helping. I prefer the stronger one. It's crappy, don't like.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. See, that's so funny. You remember like these insane moments.
Random matches. It's like so random.
Yeah. Just like these crazy moments that you laugh about when you get older.
Enjoy the journey.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy it.
Awesome.
Last question. Who would you like to listen in the podcast?
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
Which guest would like us
who would I want? Okay. Who have you had so far?
Oof. I mean, he can be coach. He can be ex-player.
I mean, so far we've done Andreeva, Kasatkina, Donna Vekic, Paula, Bencic, Osaka, Iga.
Kyrgios.
Because I feel like you've done so many people.
Yeah, it's starting to be a...
You can give us a former player, because we were starting with those.
Yeah. Oh, maybe Kim.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love her. And I saw she's been doing more stuff on social, answering questions, so maybe she would do it.
Let's go.
But I always feel like she has such a great perspective, and she's so sweet.
Nice.
Like, just great. Yeah. I'm a big fan.
Okay.
Deal.
We have to get it done. Yes.
We're on it.
Yeah.
We're on it. Next mission.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
For your time.
Have a great time.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episodes. And it will mean the world to me if you can share this episode with someone you think will enjoy it. Thank you and see you soon.